What if Earth had no moon? This question seems simple. The moon? That glowing rock in the sky we occasionally glance at while checking our phones outside? Do we really need it? It's not like it's doing much up there. But removing the moon is like taking one screw out of a spaceship. It might seem harmless until the entire thing breaks apart and explodes. Let's start with the basics. If the moon disappeared, poof, right now, the most immediate effect would be on your night walks. No more moonlight, no more werewolf conspiracy theories, and a lot more people stumbling into garden gnomes in the dark. But this is just the beginning. Without the moon, tides would shrink dramatically. Currently, the moon is responsible for most of the tides on Earth. The sun contributes too, but it's not nearly as effective. Like trying to cook a pizza using a candle, tides would become tiny ripples. For ocean creatures that rely on tidal zones to survive, this would be the equivalent of shutting down their entire city. No water, no food, just a bunch of very confused crabs. Now, let's talk rotation. Right now, Earth spins at a nice, comfy pace. One rotation every 24 hours. That's fast enough to give us day and night, but not so fast we're all flung into the stratosphere. But Earth didn't always spin this way. Millions of years ago, Earth spun much faster. Days were only about 6 hours long. It was like living in a microwave on fast forward. The reason we've slowed down to 24 hours is, ironically, the moon. The moon has been acting like a cosmic brake, using tidal friction to gradually reduce Earth's spin. Without it, Earth would slowly start speeding up again. Days would shorten. First, we'd have 23-hour days, then 20, then 15. Before long, you'd wake up, go to work, blink, and it'd be midnight again. Forget 9 to 5, it'd be 9 to 9:07. Shorter days mean more intense weather. Faster rotation increases wind speeds. Hurricanes could become global-scale events. You'd get up in the morning to find your house has been relocated to Belgium by lunchtime. Okay, but what about the seasons? Without the moon, Earth's axial tilt becomes unstable. Right now, our planet tilts at about 23.5 degrees. That tilt is what gives us seasons, summer, winter, and the confusing mess in between. But the moon stabilizes that tilt, keeping it wobbling gently like a tipsy ballerina. Without it, Earth's tilt would go haywire over time. It might tilt all the way to 60 degrees, or even flip over entirely. Imagine Antarctica getting direct sunlight for 6 months, while the Sahara becomes a frozen wasteland. You'd need a parka in Egypt and sunscreen in Greenland. Farming would become a game of planetary roulette. One year you grow wheat. The next year your field is underwater, on fire, and being chased by penguins. Animal life would struggle. Plants, birds, insects, they all rely on predictable seasons. Without the moon, migration patterns collapse, crops fail, ecosystems unravel, and humanity, those clever creatures who built smartphones but forgot how to grow potatoes, would suddenly have to remember how to survive in chaos. But let's go bigger. Think about how the moon got here in the first place. Most scientists agree it formed after a Mars-sized object slammed into the early Earth, spraying debris into orbit that later coalesced into the moon. That collision may have also tilted Earth to its current angle and jump-started plate tectonics. So, without the moon, Earth might never have become habitable at all. No oceans, no atmosphere, no dinosaurs, no internet. In fact, many astronomers believe a stable large moon might be a requirement for complex life on any planet. So, if you're watching this video on Earth and have a functioning nervous system, congratulations. You owe your existence to a random act of celestial violence. Of course, you might ask, what if we just remove the moon now, with a big laser or something? First, don't do that. NASA would get mad. Second, the moon's gravitational influence is still very much active. Removing it would instantly shift the delicate balance of the Earth-Moon system. The crust might deform, earthquakes could increase, volcanoes might throw a tantrum, and worst of all, there would be no more solar eclipses, no more dramatic Instagram shots of the moon perfectly covering the sun, just partial eclipses and disappointment. So, yes, Earth without the moon might sound peaceful and minimalistic. Fewer werewolves, less howling, no romantic moonlight distractions. But in reality, the moon is like that roommate who never cleans the dishes but pays half the rent and keeps the whole house from collapsing. It may not seem essential until it's gone, and then everything falls apart.